Cyril Rosberg back at it again for another video. This time we are here for another RGL highlights video. This time we're at Monza for the Italian Grand Prix, a track that I'm not a massive fan of, if I'm honest. It's just, to me, it's always just been a really dull circuit. But going into this race, I was aiming for a podium despite doing zero practice. I had done well, I say zero, I had done a little bit. I had done like 4 qualifying laps and a lot of time trial. That's about it. In qualifying, I was doing 21.1, so which was I think two tenths off the AOR pole lap from season 13 by STSF1 Alonso. So shout out to you if you're watching this. If probably not, and if you are, then hi, I guess. Like the video, please. Can you at least share it as well? I'm sort of struggling in terms of YouTube money, and I need the revenue. That's why I'm making videos nearly 30 minutes long. I gotta get the YouTube money, ad revenue, algorithm. Anyway, first lap at Monza. It's like I said, it's a track that I dislike. It's actually a track that I hate, really. To me, it's that there's no skill that goes into Monza apart from sticking on low aero and go around a couple of corners. The only skill to Monza is not mounting these bastard sausage curbs that'll send you to Scandinavia, but apart from that, nothing really out of the ordinary for Monza. Going through Lesbian 1, so X-Mac-G reference, nice. I'm speaking very sarcastically right now. I'm going to try and stop that. As you can see, getting a little bit oversteer on the exit in our Red Bull, that's when you know you're tragic. This lap, quite bad, in fairness. It was like a banker, anyway. Not going too quickly. It's a nice corner cut. Not going too quickly, so that I can at least still beat it later on in the session with perhaps better tyres and less fuel on the car. Going into Parabolica now, we got 2 cars in front of us going kind of slow, but we're going to ignore them. Coming out of Parabolica, you upshift, quick shift to 6th gear, 7th gear. Coming across the line, Codfield X100 goes to the top, but not for long as ESR Stone beasts out a 121.9, because that's an absolutely fantastic lap. I said I was going to stop being sarcastic, I can't help it. Codfield's decided to say, fuck turn 1 and 2, I want to take the escape road. That lap, as I said, wasn't very good. As you can see, we were beaten by 2 soft runners in the hands of Langman17 and OMG, it's Joe. I think Joe had done a 21.4, which was a bit worrying considering that that was also his first lap. I think he probably pushed a bit more than me. I'm fucking hoping he did. Because a 21.9 is quite tragic, as I said. My PB was a 0.1. Well, yeah, it was a 0.1. I was trying to think of the rest. Streak Gamer goes past us with a X's at the start of his name. Don't know who. I'm not going to go into that. I probably would get in trouble. But this was my fastest lap that I did in the session. Currently, we are P5 in front of Dominator, and we're going to start our lap now across the line. Now we're going to activate DRS as soon as possible, moving over to the left-hand side of the track so that we can, obviously take the racing line. Brake after the 150 meter boards, and then trail brake it slightly going into turn 1 and 2. Don't hit the sausage curbs, as like I said, you'll get sent to Narnia. Staying as close to the inside as possible so that we are using less track, and well, we're basically using the faster route. Coming in under the bridge, you're going to brake just before the 100 meter board. Coming in, a little bit of oversteer coming into the corner. Not hitting the sausage curbs, which was pretty good. Slightly missing the apex there. Rev out 4th gear just so you can control the traction. Breaking up that 50 meter boards. Take a little bit of curb and a little bit more exit curb. That's Vero Bianchi going slow. Activating the DRS. This is, well, it's not the longest straight. It's the main one that's the longest. Coming into here, you're going to brake before the 100 meter board, turn in, slight corner cuts, and I think I might have been on the white line there. As you can see, lots of oversteer, and that's probably cost us about 2 tenths. So that's going to be very crucial considering I did say this was my fastest lap. Braking at the end of the green strip on the left hand side, quick shift to 6th gear from 4th, power out, getting us staying in the middle of the track, close to the white line as possible, and that is a 121.423. 3/10 off my PB, but we did go to the top, and we had actually done exactly the same lap time as OMG It's Joe, which is quite insane, considering he did that on the softs. So, I'm a tragic bastard. As you can see, Langman17 did get the pole position in front of RBZ 1012, OMG It's Joe, VRL Bianchi, and myself, Ginger Ninja, also in P6. Langman could win the championship at this race if all things went to plan with himself and Ginger Ninja. I'm not sure of how things have got to work out. My teammate for this race, Rex Knight number 1, is in P11 as Diablo leaves the session. But going into this race, like I said, I'm not the most confident person in the world. But we gotta do what we gotta do. We're gonna aim for that podium. We're gonna try and get that 3rd podium in a row in RGL. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Lined up on the grid for the Italian Grand Prix in P5 in our Red Bull. Langman on pole, RBZ second, Joe, Bianchi and myself preparing for the 5 red lights for the Italian Grand Prix, and it is lights out and away we go, getting a pretty decent start, but as you can see, RBZ getting a tragic start off the line, trying to defend the inside, right in the middle of the track, trying to defend from Joe and Bianchi and myself. A little bit of lag there as RBZ hits the back of Joe and he's turned into us, and we're in the middle of the fucking track now. So, you know, that's gone tits up. There's I think that might have been Codfield in the middle of the track as well, as that Toro Rosso clearly got an illegal overtake on us. So, that's gone tits up, hasn't it? We went from P5 to P10 in the space of a corner. So, 10 out of 10 action there. Corner cut as well, just to top things off. So that start was probably the most tragic thing that could have happened. It was to be expected. I sort of saw that coming. I knew I should have been on the front row if I was to get around turn 1 cleanly, but RBZ had that privilege and he fucked it up. And in turn, basically screwed me over. But meanwhile, we're in the slip of about 3 cars here, trying to go around the outside of this person. I don't know his name. Rex Knight, our teammate, goes off, but we've got off as well. We've nearly just gone straight into him. So, but we have managed to survive there. That's Division, who I couldn't say his name before. Division has had some sort of situation go on there, as we are defending from a Ferrari. I think that's Angelio something. Again, I'm sorry, I can't read the names. It's a very fuzzy view I have, okay, in my preview screen. But anyway, this Ferrari is chasing us quite dramatically. Here he comes, he's on our inside. Is he going to try and go up the inside? No, he's not. He's going to brake quite early, and we are going to defend this position. And that Haas that was on the inside of us going into Ascari is just in front of us now. To be fair, it could have been a worse start. We went from P5 to P10. We're going to brake late, trying to keep close to the Haas. And then we hit the back of him, and Codemaster just decides to say, "Fuck you, David, you can't touch another car, we're going to spin you out." I mean, this game is just tragic, honestly. I've made contact with 2 cars, okay? RBZ, okay, at the start it might have sounded like I was pointing blame at him, but I'm not going to blame him. As you can see, front wing damage, fucking brilliant. I'm not blaming RBZ for the start, you know, that he had like 3 cars alongside him, so it's not not his fault. But as you can see, with the Haas, he broke early. I've tapped his arsehole, and I've spun. I mean, come on, Cody's. Like, what is that contact model? I'm Deaf Bro, or whatever his name is in 14th. He's gone behind us. We were last. And Rex Knight has come into the pit lane as well. You know, I had somewhat high hopes for this race. You know, I thought I could make something out of this from P5, because it's not a tragic starting position. But I've been wiped out twice through no fault of my own. It wasn't RBZ's fault, and it's not whoever that Haas was. It's not his fault either. It's just the game's contact model is just so shit. Anyway, as I've been rambling, a couple of cars have come into the pits, and we are now back into our starting position. But we still have to come into the pits. Lap 5, coming onto the set of mediums, trying to speed into the pit lane, braking a bit too early. But you know, Monza's a little bit of a confusing pit lane really. Coming to the pits, we're probably going to hope for like a 1.7 pit stop. We get a 2.5. You know, that just sums up my race, doesn't it? We've had a tragic start, and I can't even get a good pit stop, so that's fantastic. We have come out of the pits in front of the division. I think he's coming to the pits again, and we are ahead of our teammate Rex Knight. I think he had to change his front wing. We were in a pie together, and he had front wing damage. As you can see, as I mentioned, and you would have seen, I had front wing damage, and because this game is so brilliant, it doesn't recognise that I've got front wing damage because it's not enough. So it just didn't change my front wing. And here, I didn't record it. I really wish I did, because it was bloody amazing. What I did was, with my front wing damage, I was behind Dominator, so the safety car has come out. I'm behind Dominator, and I'm like, okay, I need to get this front wing changed. There's no other way I'm going to get this front wing changed without getting more damage. So, I literally just ran into the back of Dominator, got myself front wing damage, came into the pits, put the softs on, came back out, got my front wing changed, and now I've come back in again to put on the mediums, to go back on my original strategy, and then get to the end. I maybe could have got to the end if I was doing 2 soft stints, but I didn't have 2 sets of soft tyres. Completely my bad, because I thought I wasn't going to be in the midfield this race, but I was wrong. Back onto our set of mediums, and this has actually helped us. So now our tyres are a lap fresher, so we've taken out a lap of tyre wear. And, you know, we're back on our optimum strategy. We've got our front wing back. Job done. So we're back in 13th. You know, the 2 Red Bulls not having a great day. Rex Knight, as you would have seen at the start, he ran off the track. I can't remember if he was pushed off or not. I think he just missed the breaking point due to overspeed and heavy fuel. But, you know, maybe we can make something out of this race now. You know, the field's going to be grouped up again. We're going to be on the back of the queue, as you can see. The safety car is coming in this lap. We're at the back of the queue, so we could make something out of this. But, as I know, Monza, something will go wrong, like it did for Dominator and a Renault. I think Dominator was brake checked, and he just completely ran into the back of him, and look at this for a clusterfuck. What on earth is going on here? You've got like 5 cars that are trying to overtake each other. Even Rex Knight, I was telling him, like, can you back off please? Because, like, I was planning to get like a spearing run, like when the green flag goes, I'm gone. I'm going to carry like 400 miles an hour down that straight. But I've completely fucked up here. And I've completely nearly ran into the back of I'm Deaf Bro. And Rex Knight has tried to challenge us, but he said in the pie that he was going to let me go because I was the quicker car. So shout out to you, mate. As I think that was a car. There's another car on the inside there, but they are the commentators, I believe. Didn't make up any places, so, you know, that's brilliant. Lap 13 at 27, the safety car is now in. Still behind Def Bro, but we are P11, P12 for the Red Bulls. So, with my optimum strategy, and I knew that some people probably wouldn't have made the same strategy choice as I did. I say some, nobody would have, because it's a complete nut job of a move, and probably because they were smarter and they have 2 sets of softs. I don't know. Or they just wouldn't have pit at all. I could have done that, but I wanted a new front wing. Right behind I'm Death Bro anyway, the Ferrari and Division is just in front of him, so we are getting a good run there. The yellow flags are out, which is spoiling any chance of an overtake. There's a puff of smoke, that's a Renault gone. There's that Haas that we were battling earlier, it's just squeezing everyone to the outside. I've been given absolutely zero room there, and I've run off, and honestly, what the fuck was that? Excuse my language here, okay? Okay, I'm going to get onto it in a little bit, as Rex Knight has taken advantage of this almighty cluster, and as you can see, nearly making contact with the Haas again. Rex Knight has taken advantage of myself and Liam, I believe his name is, just absolutely almighty cluster shit. But that's the second time that we've had a moment together, I believe. On this slipstream of Rex Knight, we're going to pull alongside. I'm going to make two moves at once, and I'm Death Bro's just in front as well. And we've been turned across. We have been turned across by Liam. Honestly, what on earth are you thinking? I could go into a fucking rant right now, and to be honest, I don't see what's stopping me. Here's the first one. You know, you've had a moment. You're pulled off to the inside. I'm Death Bro's nearly running to the back of you. At the high speed that I was running, I don't have time to acknowledge, yo, I can go to the inside. I was already planning to go to the outside, and he's completely squeezed me. And here, honestly, I have no words. I have no words for that. That is just complete and utter bollocks of driving. So Liam, if you're watching this, I don't want to come across as a complete cunt, but I am a complete cunt, and your driving there was atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. You've caused absolute carnage in the space of half a lap. It's disgusting, really, and I don't know what the fuck went through your head. That's unacceptable driving from a league racer of, like, RGL's a good league as well. I'm not going to diss the drivers here, but what you did there was atrocious. It was disgusting, really. You're going to squeeze someone right. You're going to squeeze two people right to the outside after you had pulled off to the inside of the track after your dog shit speed because you've somehow had a collision in a straight line. And then you're just going to turn across me because you missed your braking point and you didn't want to run into a Ferrari, so you took me out instead. You are a fantastic driver. Anyway, my rant is over. We're on the back of Rex Knight. We were on the back of Viaro Bianchi. But we've caught up to an absolute almighty train right now. With Liam in this train as well, so expect a crash. There's an almighty amount of brake checking going on. Rex Knight's crashed into the back of Bianchi. I've hit the back of him. And there you go, Liam's caused another crash with the Red Bull of I'm Death Bro, I believe. And, you know, that tops it off with Liam. You know, he's made about, like, 3 collisions in about a lap. So, you know, that's 10 out of 10 driving from you, mate. Again, I don't want to come across as a complete cunt, and I've just ripped into you. But you've got to admit, your driving there was atrocious. Viaro Bianchi, on the other hand, you know, he's said bollocks to that corner, and he's let me pass, so cheers, mate. Well, he didn't on purposely let me pass, he had a moment. And, you know, from P5 to P10 to P14 to P11 to P6, this is pretty good. I mean, I don't want to flip my own boat here, but I think that was a pretty decent drive that I've had. You know, ESR just doing them strong since I'm the only one here racing for them. Viaro Bianchi, on the other hand, all over on slipstream. He's going onto the inside of us. He's going to get the DRS though, and we're going to try and hang it around his outside. Going into 6th gear, we're slightly bogging down because of lower revs, and Bianchi's going to come into the pit lane anyway, so that's all good for us. 1.2 seconds off our fastest lap. Teammates in the pits as well. We are in P6, lap 16. Cutting further around lap 16 as we're going to have someone in the pits. Yes, we are. We're going to have Division in the pit lane on the medium tyres. So I knew that people that were pitting now, they were not going to get to the end. Lap 17, maybe you could have got to the end on a set of soft tyres, but it was very touch and go. As you can see, my man Codfield retiring from the session. Unlucky man. That's unfortunate. I don't think his race was going very strong anyway. But that has brought out the virtual safety car, which is going to help me out because it's going to stop Viaro Bianchi from gaining time on me. And at this point, I'd come up with a bit of a sneaky plan to come into. Oh, this was my planned pit stop lap anyway. I could have gone a lap further since my tyres were a bit fresher now with the pit stop thing that I did. As you can see, P5 at the moment, pretty decent, but my plan was, as my voice is going, I'm so sorry, I should have a drink, but my plan was to dash into the pit lane, go above the delta, or under the delta, I don't know, I think it's above the delta, and just storm into the pit lane and make sure, well, as you can see, I didn't actually do it as effectively. If I'd done it properly, I could have gained so much time from that. And that's basically just the game being pretty bad. But as you can see, the DRS and we're returning to racing speed as well. So our plan wasn't fully, well, it wasn't fully worked out there, as the safety car did, the virtual safety car did come in. 2.3 second pit stop, again, not brilliant. As I have a drink there, because my voice is going. We're going to come out behind Division, I believe, as he's dashing up towards us. Here he is, there he goes. So see you later, but Vieira Bianchi, he's just behind us on the medium tyres. We're going to come out just in front of him, and I think that's Dominator who's right behind him as well. So our plan has helped us quite a lot there. So I don't know if that was illegal in the league. If it was, then, well, shit. And, well, I'm basically fucked then, aren't I? But, it's worked nonetheless. We have come out in P8, I was going to say P18. If it's P18, then I'd be amazed since there's 13 people in the race. Lap 19, right behind, KADCX Division. I'm going to call copyright on that name since my other gamertag is D27X Stone. So no X's to spaces, mate. We couldn't get past him on the DRS there. We have maintained a position in front of Bianchi and Dominator, I believe. Actually, I think Dominator might have had a bit of a moment. I'm not quite sure. I did see him go wide at turn 1, so maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. Sticking it in lean just to save a bit of fuel. Coming around the final corner of Parabolica. Getting onto the grass on the inside, which isn't exactly... Well, it's not what you really want to do, is it? In the slipstream of Division, going up his inside, as you can see, Vieira Bianchi, because he was further behind, he's going to carry a lot. He was in the slipstream for a lot longer, and he was carrying a lot more speed. As I almost got sent to Sweden, mounting turn 1, because I completely shit my pants at Bianchi's late braking abilities there. So lap 10 to 20, we're back into P5. We are on fresh soft tyres. I believe that they were fresh. If I was born to the same set of soft tyres I was on in my pit stop, then I'm going to be... No, I would be, because I only had one set. Never mind. Lap 21, we're behind RBZ. As you can see, there's a puff of dirt that's just appeared. And that is RBZ just in front of us, going very slowly. I'm led to believe he had a puncture. I'm not quite sure. I'm just guessing he had a puncture, because I have no idea. OMG, it's Joseph's fastest lap, just to get mugged by his teammate, Langman, to then set the fastest lap of the race. I'm not sure if he's actually his teammate, since I'm pretty sure Joe's been racing in the Red Bull. Not Red Bull, in the McLaren. As you can see, I asked my engineer about the driver in front, just to see how much quicker I am than him. My engineer did say that I'd gained, I think it was more than 8/10 that lap. And 22 laps to go. Well, not 22 laps to go, I wish. Not many laps to go, like 5 laps to go. A 3.7 gap. You know, we could be on for a podium here. You know, it's looking good. It's looking very good. It was 3.7 the last lap. We're continuing to push on to stop Bianchi getting past us as well. 3.7, 2.7. We gained a full second that lap. So we are an absolute mad one. So the podium, like I aimed for, was absolutely on par. We were absolutely gunning for it. And as you can see, we've mounted the curb, and it's all gone wrong. It's all gone wrong. I mean... I'd have no words. Just pad things, really. We hit the curb, as you can see. We've taken a bit too much curb, getting a bit of oversteer, trying to correct it, but trying not to lift out the throttle. And yeah, hit the outside wall. Our front tyre goes. And that's the end of it. We were having an amazing race up until that point. you know, we had a crash at turn 1. We had another crash on lap 2 at the second chicane. You know, the safety car didn't come out. Saved us pretty much. We got squeezed by Liam. We then got taken out by Liam. Liam then took someone else out. And overall, that's resulted in Liam Langman winning the race, and well, second in the race and winning the championship. You know, that race was just ridiculous. I don't have much to say about that. I'm just going to end this video here. Okay, so I've realised that my ending to that commentary wasn't exactly the best. It was very rushed because on my editing I didn't leave enough time to actually do a proper outro. But basically, just to sum that race up, I mean, that is just ridiculous. It was just atrocious, really. You know, the first lap, I'm not going to blame RBZ for that. You know, he had Joe on his inside, I'm pretty sure he had like Bianchi on his outside, and I was just trying to squeeze my way through as well. I think I could have made the move, but you know, there was a bit of lag in there as well, so you know, that's not anyone's fault there. But yeah, and also lap 2, when I hit the back of Liam, that's just the game. You know, he's broken a bit early. I'm obviously a better driver, so I can carry more speed into a corner, and I've hit the back of him, and the game's just said, you know, you can spin out. And I've had to make my way through the field. Safety cars come out, and then that's come back in. Liam once again somehow gets into a crash in a straight line, and he's almost like ended myself and I think I'm Ferrari's race anyway. I think it was I'm Death Bro. And then he decides to just turn across me because he missed his braking point when he could have just taken to the grass and affected nobody's race but his own, which is deserved, since if you're going to make a mistake you should be punished for it and not punish others. And he got into another crash himself, I think with I'm Death Bro as well. And then the crash at the end, you know, that was my fault. I didn't get to say that in the proper commentary, but that was just completely my fault. You know, I was absolutely buzzing because I was gaining so much on, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Street Gamer, I think that was in third. I might be wrong. I was absolutely buzzing my tits off, thinking that I could get a podium after everything that had happened in that race. And to top it off, I just made a mistake. I think it's safe to say I let ESR down in that race. You know, that was quite tragic. I've let myself down in that race as well. But you know, there's one more race left of RGL at Brazil. Brazil's a track that I like, and I think I already know the strategy that I'm going to be doing, and I haven't done any practice yet. But anyway guys, I do hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button. Share this video to Twitter, wherever social medias that you kids use these days, so I don't keep up with youth anymore. I'm getting too old for this shit, and I'm only 16. My life is shit. Like, as I said, like the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you are new. We have surpassed 300 subscribers. So thank you guys for that. I didn't get to say thank you in my other videos, but honestly, thank you so much. I started this channel like 2 years ago, or 2 and a bit years ago, and I've, you know, surpassing 300's insane, really. I didn't think I'd managed to do that, especially with the quality of my content. But yeah, that's all I need to say, guys. But actually, no, it's not. Follow me on Instagram as well. I've got that now, as I've said every time I do a commentary. Anyway guys, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you for watching, and cheers.